Also, Trump-backed GOP candidate for governor of Arizona, Kari Lake. She's apparently just endorsed in the last few days Jaren Jackson for the Oklahoma State Senate. Now, that endorsement has raised eyebrows across the media because recent reports have uncovered Jackson's long history of anti-Semitic and homophobic statements. The Oklahoman reported in July that Jackson said being gay is disgusting, called the LGBTQ lifestyle the gateway to pedophilia, and said he's not beholden to Jews in posts on videos on right-wing social media platforms. Now, of course, because Kari Lake endorsed him, she now takes responsibility for everything he's ever said, I guess. He's accountable for everything he's said or done in his entire lifetime. And that's the case for, well, unless you're a leftist. Right. Then you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
Right.
Then if you're a lefty, why, you're free to love and admire and praise and promote anybody you want, even the most vile, despicable, evil people of the last 100 years or so. People like, I don't know, pick somebody. Margaret Sanger. This woman is beloved by the left, is beloved by everybody who loves Planned Parenthood. You remember all the things Hillary Clinton said about her? Oh, Hillary Clinton loves Margaret Sanger. Let me see if I can. Is it in this machine? That's the question.
And I've heard of this Hillary Clinton.
You have heard of her?
Lady. Okay. Yeah.
Huh.
So,
yeah, I don't. That's unfortunate.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, she had high praise for Margaret Sanger.
High praise. Loved her. And she, when she was asked about whether or not she supported all the things that Margaret Sanger said, she said something like, of course not. Just like I love Thomas Jefferson, but he owned slaves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's where it ended for her.
And that's where
she
it ended.
Didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And nobody talked about it anymore at all.
Who's Margaret Sanger again?
The founder of Planned Parenthood.
Oh, I've heard of her too.
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah. And this is a woman who Hillary Clinton loves, who just about everybody on the left loves, and they're never held accountable for the things that she said and did. Here's just a few of Margaret Sanger's lovely quotes.
Quotes from Margaret Sanger, founder of Planned Parenthood.
She, of course, believed that large families were detrimental to society. She said, the most serious evil of our time is that of encouraging the bringing into the world of large families. The most immoral practice of the day is breeding too many children. The most merciful thing that the large family does to one of its infant members is to kill it. That sounds brutal. She said that in Women in the New Race in 1920. Chapter 5, The Wickedness of Creating Large Families, if you don't believe that she said that. She argued that motherhood must be efficient. Birth control itself, often denounced as a violation of natural laws, nothing more or less than the facilitation of the process of weeding out of the unfit, of preventing the birth of defectives, or of those who will become defectives. Oh my gosh. The defectives she was referring to were minorities. That's who she wanted eliminated from our society. She was all about eugenics. Population control, she wrote, would bring about the materials of a new race. If we're to develop in America a new race with a racial soul, we must keep the birth rate within the scope of our ability to understand as well as to educate. We must not encourage reproduction beyond our capacity to assimilate our numbers so as to make the coming generation into such physically fit, mentally capable, socially alert individuals as are the ideal of a democracy. There's that word again.
Mm-hmm.
These psycho freaks on the left love democracy.
Boy, she sounds like the precursor to Hitler.
Doesn't she?
Frankly, yeah.
Yeah, and quite frankly, the Nazis really respected her writings.
And I knew that she was big during the time of Calvin Coolidge.
Mm-hmm.
So I just Googled just to see if there's ever any interaction or a Coolidge quote about her. I can't find a quote from Coolidge on her just on the fly here, but I did see that in the 1920s, Sanger lobbied President Calvin Coolidge to form a federal birth control commission to, quote, be given free access to all facts and statistics relative to the racial health of this nation, end quote. That's what she wanted. She ended up getting a federal population bureau in the mid-1930s under FDR.
She also wrote that an excess in population must be reduced. War, famine, poverty, and oppression of the workers will continue while women make life cheap. Mothers, at whatever cost, she must emerge from her ignorance and assume her responsibility. We do not. Oh, here's one of the favorite quotes of Margaret Sanger that she wrote to an African American pastor. We do not want word to get out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. Oh, yeah, you probably don't want that word to get out because that would seem to be a really bad thing. I'm thinking people would object to that, you know? She also said, I think the greatest sin in the world is bringing children into the world that have disease from their parents, that have no chance in the world to be a human being practically. Delinquents, prisoners, all sorts of things just marked when they're born. That to me is the greatest sin that people can commit. Whew. So it's only appropriate that now, years later, well after she has left this planet, thankfully, what a hideous human being she was. And just, again, beloved by the psychos on the left. They love her. They love her organization. They continue to promote her organization, Planned Parenthood. And they don't mind the fact that she set it up to eliminate minorities.
Yeah, they are carrying out her vision to a T.
They are. That's why 80% of Planned Parenthood locations are in predominantly African-American neighborhoods. Because that's who Margaret Sanger was. Despicable and evil.